What happened while we were away, brought to you by a very long confirmation season, continues. Yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard was confirmed for Director of National Intelligence by a 52-48 vote, with Glitch McConnell voting against her. This morning, Kash Patel for FBI Director made it out of Senate committee. He'll face the full Senate vote soon. This morning also, Linda McMahon had her confirmation hearing for Secretary of Education.
I'm so happy to have them here, and many friends have come from far places, so I welcome having them here today and appreciate that they're here. So, thank you, Chairman Cassidy, Ranking Member Sanders, and distinguished members of the committee.
And perhaps the biggest one of all, RFK Jr. was confirmed by the Senate this morning as Secretary of Health and Human Services. Attorney General Pam Bondi made this announcement yesterday. She's putting blue states on notice to comply with federal immigration law.
We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today.
President Trump says he had a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin and says it was productive, signaling the conflict in Ukraine may soon be over. You'll never guess who's really mad about this.
Well, I don't have any expectations anymore. I think we know exactly what's going to happen. President Trump has effectively surrendered to Putin before the negotiations have even begun.
Yeah, John Bolton never met a pile of dead bodies he didn't like. On the topic of Hamas captives, Trump says,
"Say all hell is going to break loose." Are you speaking about retaliation from
You'll find out, and they'll find out too. Hamas will find out what I mean.
Mr. President,
they're going to find out what I mean. These are sick people. And they'll find out what I mean Saturday at 12 o'clock.
This morning in Germany, an Afghan asylum seeker plowed a Mini Cooper into a crowd of people in Munich, injuring 28 people, including children. Back at home, a new study from the University of Washington and Yale was published in the Annals of Medicine this month. The study analyzed nearly 600,000 individuals, half COVID jabbed and half unjabbed, from within the Veterans Health Administration. The study analyzed only those who received the monovalent COVID-19 vaccines, targeting the XBB.1.5 Omicron variant and subsequent boosters. The study found that these jabs had, quote, relatively low vaccine effectiveness against hospitalization and death, which declined rapidly over time, end quote. Regardless of those frankly terrible results, the study author stated, quote, our findings call for accelerated efforts to develop the new vaccination strategies that could provide higher and more sustained protection in the current era of COVID-19, end quote. And finally, there's this from apologist Wesley Huff.
You have something that's inherently unique in that in all other systems of religiosity, it's some form of survival of the fittest, right? It's some form of do this and you're accepted, feel this and you're accepted, or think this and you're accepted, right? Intellectualism, emotionalism, and what was the third one I had? Experientialism, right? It's one of those three things. However, Christianity says you can't feel, do, or think enough. It's not going to work. You're not going to live up to the standard of a holy God. And so it's not survival of the fittest. It's not the most intelligent or the most spiritual or the most, the people who have the greatest revelations. Instead, the fittest steps down and sacrifices himself for the survival of the weakest. That's what we call the gospel. That's the good news, is that it's subverting the system. And I would argue Christianity, in what a lot of people might not understand in the gospel, is that it's a combination of all those things. It marries mercy and justice. It has this component of grace that's very unique. And then it reverses the works-based system of all the other religions, where it's up to you. Just do, just think, just feel enough, and you'll be accepted. Whereas the Bible says, no, you're accepted. Now do, now feel, now think. It's a very different paradigm.
And that's what happened while we were away.